They want to keep us miserable. You know, so many people don't like to accept the truth, but the truth is that society doesn't want you to be happy. Why is it that society doesn't want you to be happy, and why does society want to keep you miserable? Watch to the end of the video to have all of those questions answered and more. Don't forget to follow us over on Rumble. Our Rumble's linked in the description of the video. And don't let them tell you that you will own nothing and be happy. Go and check out Agri's Crypto Academy to learn how to buy, sell, and trade crypto while making massive profit. It's linked in the description of the video. And now let's go ahead and jump right in. They want to keep us miserable. They don't want us happy. They want us miserable. They want us miserable. They want us stressed out. They want us frustrated. They want us exhausted. And we can see this. Guys, do you realize, and many of you have experienced it for yourselves, because the vast majority of you are listening, who are listening to my video are adults, you go to work and you work 8 hours a day. It takes you 1 hour to get to work minimum, right? And that might include the time that it takes to get ready for work, or it could just, or maybe even an hour just to get there, and then an hour to get home. And it's basically by the time you get to work and by the time you come home and the time you spend at work, when you get home, and how much time do you have left? You have literally no time left whatsoever. You have no time. You watch a couple of movies, maybe a movie or a couple of episodes of something on Netflix or whatever. If you're into anime, you watch a little Crunchyroll. Most of you probably don't even do that. You might watch you go to YouTube, you go to X, you go to Instagram, you go to TikTok, you start scrolling some more, and before you know it, it's time to go to sleep. You eat next to nothing, right? Or maybe you eat fast food, which is making you tired, sick. Doesn't matter. You have work in the morning, and you basically get a little bit of sleep. All right. Maybe you get around 4 or 5 hours of sleep. Some of you are like, oh, I sleep great, Angry. Good for you. Good for you. But I'm not talking to you then. I'm talking to the average person. Okay. Because there's so many bots who want to immediately shut everyone up. Oh, well, as you get older, Angry, you don't need as much sleep. Guys, these people are sick. They listen to me. They're gonna they're NPCs. They're NPCs, all right? But for those of you that are awake, you know what I'm talking about. So you get a couple of hours of sleep, you wake up, and you rinse and repeat, and you do it over and over and over again. And with the average person, and we know this statistically, can only focus for around 3 hours a day. So they only get around 3 hours a day of actual work done. 8 hours doesn't mean anything. You don't get 8 hours a day. Employers do not get 8 hours out of you. The best that they can get on average is 3 hours of actual work. And when they've done studies and they've dramatically reduced the number of hours that people work in a day, they found that they only get around 3 hours. So why are we working 8 hours? Because it's about control. It's about conditioning. You see, if people are not toiling away each and every single day, then they're active in society. They're active in their communities. They're active in their families. If you only need to work 3 hours a day, three, then you can raise your own kids. Think about the logistics here. You don't need to hire a babysitter or a nanny. In a family, in a household, for example, where both parents work, if you're both only working 3 hours a day, guess what? One parent steps out for a few hours, comes back, the other parent steps out. Guys, it's crazy. It's really crazy. Like, it's so insane where you can have it, so you can set it up and structure it however you want to. There would be no such thing as, the kids come home from school and dad isn't home or mom isn't around. You can structure your jobs in such a way that you're almost always visible in your kids' lives, because by the time they get home, Both parents are going to be there. Or if there's or if one's not there, he'll be or he or she will be there within a few hours. It'll feel like mommy and daddy are always there, and one of them will always be there, and both parents will, for the most part, always be present. They don't want that. They don't want parents present. One of the reasons, why do you think they have children? Why do you think kids are forced to be in school for 8 hours a day? We already know, again, this is where it goes back to. We already know that they cannot learn. Most kids cannot learn for more than 2 to 3 hours a day. After like 2 to 3 hours, that's it. The brain cannot really soak up anything else. You're cooked. Yet we do this. Why? Because it's not about teaching, it's about control, it's about conformity. The system is based upon regurgitation. It rewards those who are good at regurgitating, rinsing, and repeating. What's that? That's not learning, that's obedience. The system rewards obedience. Look at the kinds of people who get promoted in companies. They get promoted in middle management. Their job is to help control others. And when others go outside of the lines, color outside of the lines, they basically nudge them right back into the lines. And they push them for better conformity and better obedience. And what are they themselves? They are good followers. They are good at being obedient. The system doesn't want us to be happy. It wants us to be tired and it wants us to be miserable. Because if we're too tired and we're too miserable, then we're too tired and we're too miserable to talk back. If we're too tired, yeah, exactly. If you have a society of people who are not exhausted, who are not miserable, then they're going to say, you know what, I don't like this, and I'm not going to tolerate it, and I'm going to stand up for myself, and I'm going to say no. But when you're tired, mentally and physically, you can't stand up to anything. And when you're sick and when you're physically unwell, for example, you're overweight, the foods that we eat, you look at the labels, you see the garbage that's in them, and you're like, this is not food. Dextrose and all this other stuff. Oh, it's just sugar. All this other garbage in there. So you look at the ingredients, and the first thing in the ingredients is some chemical. And I'll have some idiot jump in right now and shortly and say, "Well, angry, those chemicals are just found in nature." No, 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 they are not found in nature. You joker. Okay, this is not sugar. It's a sugar substitute. If it was actual sugar, it would say sugar. It's a different variation of sugar. Angry, when they it's you mean processed sugar. It's a different. They add chemicals to it. Angry, they add chemicals to everything. Okay, everything we eat has chemical. No, they know everything we eat does not have chemicals in it, guys. These people are bad. All right, the NPCs. All right, they are doing eight. These people are agents, like Agent Smith. They are agents. And it's so funny how pathetic they are, because I tell you that they're just going to pop up, and I can tell you the exact same things that they're going to say to try to dispute my arguments, and they'll use the exact same things that I'm saying that they're going to use to dispute my arguments. And it's like, bro, I just you just they'll even use a timestamp to jump to the point that I'm making, and it's like, dude, I said shortly after that you are going to say all of these exact things that you're saying right now to try and dispute my argument, and I explained why what you're saying is completely invalid, and it doesn't even matter because you're a bot. And it's just your job to jump in and put this and leave this here. You have to even wonder sometimes if these are actual people. They're most of them are, a lot of them are actual people. But but you have to even wonder at this point if it's like not just like an AI system just doing it too. But so many of these people are bots, and their goal and intent is to keep you controlled and keep you miserable and keep you not questioning things. Don't ask questions, okay? Just consume content. Just do as you're told. You know, I'm telling you what's happening with me. I find myself unable, not desiring anymore to scroll through the feeds because I realize everything in the feed is designed to deplete your dopamine, keep you dopamine addicted. So now you're exhausted and you can no longer feel happiness or joy. That's what these endless loops do. That's what the constant thumbnails and all of this other crap do. It's constant hits of dopamine to get you to the point where you can no longer feel any bit of happiness or joy. You feel like everything is pointless, everything is meaningless, and you don't want to basically do anything. You just basically do the mere minimum to survive, and that's it. Because not only are you too physically tired, you're too mentally tired, mentally depleted to argue. You're scared. You're filled with fear. You're filled with doom and gloom. I want you guys to think about something. When you look at these algorithms, for example, when you go on social media and you see these videos popping up, and I just realized it myself, and they're basically telling you, all about everything that bad that's happening, and like, oh, this is happening, the sky is falling. And you're like, why is the algorithm why is the algorithm feeding me this garbage? And why? I'll tell you why the algorithm's feeding you it. Because the algorithm knows that most people are so tired, so exhausted that they're not going to do anything either way. And knowing these things, it's just going to make them want to find out more and more and more and consume more information, right? Because negativity, these algorithms are designed to show you things that are basically negative, that are going to make you, jumpy, that are going to make you unhappy. Because these are studies that were done by companies like Meta, and they found that negative information actually leads to better retention on social media than positive. So these algorithms will show you endless amounts of things about what's happening and this and that and all this other BS because they know you're just going to keep on listening, and it gives you basically drip feeds one after another showing you just how bad things are, because showing you just how bad things are, the people who are helping to wake you up, they don't realize that what they're also doing is they're trapping you in an endless loop cycle of misery, leading to you basically feeling like, because think of, you're like, well, all of how long has this been going on? It's been going on forever. How bad is it, bro? It's like it's almost impossible. It's an almost impossible situation. How the hell am the average person, supposed to do anything? You really can't, guys. Yeah, I remember George Carlin said it. He said it really, really well in his 1996 comedy special. He said, "They have you by the balls." All right. And if you knew just how bad things were, you would be absolutely furious. It's insane. These companies have also found the other ways of essentially creating monopolies without, in everything but the name. So, for example, you can't centralize power. You can't basically have one company that controls everything. So instead, you have multiple giant companies that work together to control everything. Duopolies or triopolies or whatever. They're all working together to control everything. And if you look carefully, it doesn't matter that you have several different companies, they're all owned by the exact same people. BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street. These companies, this is just examples. They're typically the ones who own many of the companies around us, and they're the ones who control all of the voting rights. It doesn't matter if me, or you own stock in these companies. We don't actually have voting say in these companies. Those voting rights are controlled by other companies like BlackRock, like Vanguard, like State Street. When we buy shares in companies on platforms like Robinhood, we don't actually get voting shares that we're allowed to use. We basically delegate those voting rights yet again to other companies like Vanguard, like BlackRock, like State Street. We have almost no say in what happens in our societies right now. We are so cooked, which is one of the reasons why I keep on telling you guys to hold at least a little crypto, because it's going to get bad out there, boys. In a world pushing you to own nothing and be happy, crypto is your key to survival. Join Angry's Crypto Academy to master buying, selling, and trading crypto. Make huge profits and safeguard your wealth. Plus, discover the one crypto virtually no one is talking about, poised to create new millionaires in the upcoming bull run. The link is in the description of the video below. Go check it out now. You know what's crazy? I think something that's really, really crazy. Like if you look at like the ingredients for things like you go to Italy and you buy some bread from Italy, and it's like, bro, what the heck is this? This is bread. This is bread, and it's nothing like store bought bread. Nothing at all like store bought bread. It's tasty. It's nutritious. You eat it. If you put a little butter on it, natural butter, not the garbage that we have in our fridges. All right, butter that's actually been churned by human hands, real cream. And it's like, holy cow, this is what cream tastes like. This is what butter is supposed to taste like. This is what bread tastes like. And you eat a slice of bread with butter, and all of a sudden this is amazing. And it's better than any meal you could imagine. It's better than any of the processed meats that we consume. It's like, this is what actual food tastes like, and you're not constantly hungry anymore. Nothing that we consume today is natural. There's no reason why you go to the store, you purchase a bottle of coffee, and the ingredients say all of these other things. Oh, it contains this chemical and that chemical and this ingredient and that and blah 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 and food coloring, and this is this is coffee. This is just supposed to be ground up coffee beans. What the living hell is this? And we just act like everything is normal. And again, the agents, these chemists, they're going to pop up in the comments and they'll start trying to refute everything I'm saying, because they want you to be obedient. They want you to obey. One thing that we have to do is we have to cut back on our social media consumption. We have to not only cut back on it, but we have to control how we consume it. Because you can look at how the boomers have been affected by television, by news, cable media. All right, they never stopped. All right, and that's one of the reasons why our society is the way that it is today. They were the first generation to be exposed to mass media, and we can see the effects of it. Don't pretend and act like, oh, they had the radio before the baby boomer generation, and so if you want to talk about mass media, there was the radio. Get the hell out of here, bro. The radio was not the same as being plopped down in front of the television all day long, listening to CNN, Fox News, and all of these other nightly news people, and being told and having your worldviews shaped. This is entertainment. You have to understand that mass media is entertainment for the baby boomers. They love it. They love the chaos. They love all the nonsense that's happening that comes with mass media. I'm telling you guys, everything is designed to make us sad, because sad people don't fight back. Sad people don't speak up. Sad people just obey. A lot of people have been saying it, that we are now living on a prison planet. You look at what's coming, guys, things like digital ID, online safety, where if like it won't just be on the internet, you'll need digital ID to access the internet, you'll need digital ID to access healthcare, digital ID. I'm not making it up. Look at what's happening in the UK. Starting next year, you won't be able to access things like housing, jobs, benefits with no digital ID. So you will basically be either you have digital ID or you be home or you can't work and you have no roof over your head. Guys, does how is that not destroying taking away basic human rights? Housing is being able to access housing is a basic human right. Say goodbye to that. And it's so many other things. And of course, like I said, they want you miserable because when you're miserable, you will not stand up and say no. You will simply just obey. Because if you're too mentally depleted, physically depleted to fight, to argue, to stand up, then basically that's it. But guys, let me know your thoughts. We'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA. I'm walking away and cheers.
Nothing says you care like crypto. Nothing can compare. Nothing says you care like crypto. Oh, nothing can compare to crypto.